This was the worst case scenario when I started this series, was this happening, and it happened. So you know what? I'm going to have to take some of this. Do you get it? This is my pride. And you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to swallow it. Hey, what up, everyone? It's Matt Mamba, and yeah, so just a quick explanation why I didn't do a video when the Packers beat the Falcons. Skip really didn't say much for me to work with for a video, right? All he basically said was, oh, Aaron Rodgers played good, but all that's canceled because the Falcons are just that bad. So that's really not enough to make a video about, so I kind of just didn't want to make a video that week. And then they had a bye week, so like, what do you guys want me to do? Talk about a bye week? No. But then it was this week. I was really hyped. Because I thought the Packers had the Buccaneers. I thought we were going to win. And then Aaron Rodgers had one of the worst games of his career. He got off to a hot start. We were up 10-0. We were moving the football. Aaron Rodgers looked sharp. We got Devontae Adams back. We got Kenny Clark back on the other side. Ooh, we're going to be able to pressure Tom Brady. None of that happened. Aaron Rodgers throws 2 interceptions. I can't even... It is a rarity to see Aaron Rodgers throw an interception. I saw him throw 2. One of them a pick 6. And Aaron Rodgers didn't look the same for the rest of the game. So, it's Saturday. Like, literally, I'm planning on recording this video and then uploading it the same day. I was waiting till the very last second to make this video. And I can't stall it anymore. I haven't even watched the clip that I'm about to watch. The only thing I know is Skip Bayless was wearing a Tom Brady Buccaneers jersey. And that's all I know. So, we're going to react to the Skip Bayless Stupidity Live. And we're just going to move on. And we're on to Houston. And we're on to going 15-1 to the Super Bowl, baby. So let's have Skip have his little moment, and then we're smooth sailing for the rest of the year. Because Aaron Rodgers is going to be back to his MVP self. All right, let's do it. All right, I got the video queued up. I got my little space here to put the video, and oh boy, let's prepare to watch Skip Bayless gloat like he's never gloated before. All right, so his Cowboys suck. So this is basically his Super Bowl of the year, so let's let him have it. Here we go. Oh boy.
Welcome to Undisputed. I'm Jenny Taft with well, normally Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp.
Okay. You know, I'm here, Jenny. You know what I do.
Yeah, you're here.
Show up. I don't gloat. I don't brag. I don't boast.
You do too, brag, Shannon. Shut the heck up.
Maybe.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Okay. Okay.
What
Enjoy.
an entrance, Skip.
Man, you won a game. Sit down. You won one game and you pretend like
That was cringe, I'll be honest. And I've done a lot of cringy things in my life.
See?
Let me get situated and just do something like this. Original gangsta. Original gangsta.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
Thomas,
Let's keep going.
Edward, Patrick, Brady, Jr., original, and still gangsta.
You know what, Skip?
Yeah.
Packers did get out to a 10-point lead over the Bucs, but then an Aaron Rodgers pick 6 seemed to completely reverse all the momentum. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers would reel off 31 more.
All right, I'm going to pause it right here, and then I'm going to skip to when Skip starts talking. But from what I can tell from his Twitter, he's going to bring up and sarcastically say, Aaron Rodgers, the greatest thrower of the football ever, threw 2 interceptions, and he's gonna gloat about that. So that's probably where he's going. He's gonna oversell Tom Brady, and let me just say this right now: Tom Brady played very well. I mean, the defense set him up very well. But Tom Brady was making some great throws. Gronkowski looked good. Tom Brady was making some good, other than, his little checkdowns, he was making some good throws downfield. So I can't even hate on Tom Brady. So if you're looking for me to start hating on Tom Brady and say he's washed, in this game, he's not washed. The man can still make some throws and win some games. So no hate towards Tom Brady. Tom Brady played great. I'm not Skip Bayless. I'm not going to act like Skip Bayless and try to put other people down to make the people I like look better. That's not what I do. So let's just get into what Skip has to say, and let's just rip the Band-Aid off of this video, can we? Please. If we lose to Houston, by the way, it's not gonna be pretty, but it's all good. We're not worried about that.
Interesting. So I decided that this morning here on Undisputed, I'm not going to pile on my man Shannon Sharp. I'm not going to rub it in.
What is that?
Here we go.
But I will say, to begin my unleashing here, that you have been wrong on Tom Brady. You have retired him for 4 straight years, and yesterday, Tom Brady had the best QBR in all the league. Week 6 QBR of 96. Is that good? Scale of 0 to 100. Aaron Rodgers had an 18. So my scoreboard read 96 to 18.
Okay, hold on a second. I gotta pause right there. Since when is he bringing back QBR? He was down freaking playing Aaron Rodgers having the best QBR in the NFL for back-to-back weeks. And then all of a sudden he's going to bring back his love for QBR once Aaron Rodgers finally has a bad game and doesn't have the best QBR in the NFL? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was leading the NFL of all quarterbacks in the first, 5 weeks? And now all of a sudden we're going to care about QBR again because Tom Brady's got a better one than Aaron Rodgers for once? Oh, this is...
Tom Brady over Aaron Rodgers.
Not 38-10, huh?
No, it was not. Although, if you ask Tom Brady today, this morning, hey, Tom, what down is it? He'd say, I think Green Bay's down 38 to 10. How about that?
Okay, yeah, so much for not gloating and piling on.
The GOAT, the undisputed GOAT, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., was so much better than the man you call the greatest thrower of the football.
There it is.
And I would submit to you today that Aaron Rodgers had the worst game of his career yesterday at Tampa Bay.
All right. So, I can't even... I'm trying to think off the top of my head worst Aaron Rodgers games. And maybe it's just recency bias for me, but that had to be one of Aaron Rodgers' worst games ever. But that should really say something about the guy is, him throwing 2 interceptions is his worst game, one of them being a pick 6. Obviously, it's a bad game. I'm not trying to underplay how bad of a game it was. I'm just saying, some quarterbacks in the NFL have that game, and it's another pretty bad game for that player. But it's like Aaron Rodgers has that game, and it's like, oh, my God, the world stops. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to give Skip that. I mean, I do think this is one of Aaron Rodgers' worst games in his career. So, yeah, I'll let him have that, but... it's a rarity. I'm just going to say that. It's not very often I have to try and defend Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not gonna because, he had a bad game, and I'm sure Aaron Rodgers didn't really defend it either in his press conferences. He said he had a bad game, so it's just the truth.
Given the stakes, given the magnitude, given the matchup with a man he calls a friend, but obviously 2 Hall of Fame-bound quarterbacks.
Fierce competitors.
Yes, 2 fierce competitors. I think it was the worst game of his career.
I won't argue that.
And he said in the second quarter, your man Aaron Rodgers, the greatest thrower of the football ever, went 3 of 13 for a grand total of 21 yards. This is just the second quarter. He got outscored 28-0 because he nearly threw 2 pick sixes, as you pointed out, 1 for sure. And the next series, ball gets deflected by Carlton Davis, and it goes off Devontae's fingertips and up in the air, and it's intercepted and nearly housed.
Yes.
It went to the 2-yard line, giving Tom Brady, obviously, and company an easy score there.
Right.
So, meanwhile, in the second quarter, the GOAT was going...
I will say, I'm going to give Skip some credit here, and mostly, I think he's mostly doing this because it's at the expense of Aaron Rodgers, but he does admit that it did set Tom Brady up for some easy scores to really get them off into the lead. And then it really put them in a good position going forward in the second half where they have all the momentum and they're able to just tire out this Green Bay defense. So I will give Skip credit there where he's admitting, Tom had some easy scores, and it's not like he's just going to say Tom Brady outplayed Aaron Rodgers. Clearly the Buccaneers defense played a huge part in this victory over the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going to give Skip some credit there too.
And he fires one to the boundary, and... that was it. Jamel Dean steps in front of it, and it is gone. And it took my breath away, and it probably took your heart.
Late
right?
inside, that's what you're going to get.
Okay, that's what you're going to get. We have obviously seen Brady do that twice already and throws to Justin Watson of Penn. Okay, so I was hoping when the game ended that Aaron's State Farm policy does cover pick sixes because he nearly had 2 of them, right? Do you think
So
it does?
cheesy.
He gets everything
So
else,
cheesy.
right?
No.
You don't think it does?
Nope.
So we're still, yesterday, to me, Aaron Rodgers nearly had 2 pick sixes, but he nearly threw 4 interceptions. If we could see 2 other balls that he threw.
Okay, this is a slippery slope, and I'm not going to argue that those balls could have been. How do I say this? I'm not going to argue that those balls weren't very close to being interceptions, but that's a very slippery slope where you're just cherry picking freaking things to pile on Aaron Rodgers at that point. I'm sure if I look through all the Buccaneers games up until the point in this season for Tom Brady, I'm sure I could find 4 or 5 balls where they could have been picked off. So that's a very slippery slope, and I don't think that's very fair to Aaron Rodgers at this point. Because if you're going to do that for Aaron Rodgers, you better do that for every quarterback, where you watch every throw of every game for every quarterback and say, oh, well, that should have been 7 interceptions, but he only had 1. That's really dangerous, and I don't like that, you know?
So then the shock to me was that Aaron Rodgers unraveled, came unglued, started to look like Kirk Cousins, and it got so bad for Aaron Rodgers that later in the game, mid-third quarter, he was backed up near his goal line, and he lost track. If you can believe this, the greatest thrower of the football ever, he lost track of the play clock. Do you remember this? And took a...
Okay, this is the cherry picking that I knew he was going to do, and I remember now that he says it. He actually tweeted about this, and I just rolled my eyes when I saw the tweet during the game. But yes, the man had a delay of game penalty, a very common occurrence in the NFL, trying to get everyone on the same page, especially with the Green Bay Packers. If you watch any Packers games at any point, you will know that Aaron Rodgers waits till the very last second to snap the ball, probably 70% at least 70% of the time throughout the game. So it's no surprise, and there's a bunch of times where it's going to be delay a game because they couldn't get everyone set, and they call a timeout. So I don't know why he's making this point. It's really not a good point. Yes, they had a delay of game. It's not this like super like, oh god, Aaron's losing it now. That's a delay of game penalty. Nah, I'm not giving Skip that. I'll give Skip a lot of credit in this video where it's due. You know, Tom Brady had a good game. Aaron Rodgers played bad. He missed a lot of throws. Those interceptions were bad, but I'm not giving him anything there.
5-yard penalty if we'd see this. And the great Troy Aikman, live on Fox, the America's Game of the Week. If we could hear...
Okay, don't start sucking up to Troy Aikman, because I can tell you right now, Troy Aikman absolutely hates your guts, Skip, for what you did to him. And if you don't know what Skip Bayless did to Troy Aikman, then just do a quick Google search. Just type Skip Bayless, Troy Aikman, and you will find plenty on why I'm sure Troy Aikman is still not a fan of Skip Bayless. So don't try and suck up to Troy Aikman, because he is not a fan of yours, Skip.
What Troy said at that point? Interesting.
Skip, that's exactly right. But here's the thing. If you watch this game, and I was watching it close, they were getting the play clock down to 1 and 2 because they were trying to get Tampa to identify what they were doing defensively. So if you look at every last one of them, they did not snap the ball outside of 5 seconds because they're trying to make Todd Bowles' defense identify where you're coming from because he knows he's coming. Those 2 interceptions, Skip.
See, and Shannon's bringing up exactly what I'm bringing, because Aaron Rodgers is in a chess match before he snaps the ball every single time. He's trying to identify who's blitzing, who's coming back, how many people are they sending. You know, he's trying to figure that all out, and then Aaron Rodgers is going to adjust the offense, move a receiver. It's just stuff that's even out of my knowledge that I don't even freaking know. And I'm not going to act like I'm this football freaking god when it comes to this stuff. But I see the chess match every snap of every week when the Green Bay Packers play, because Aaron Rodgers is doing this little stuff where he's trying to identify what the defense is going to be doing and how he can set up his offense to be the best fit to what the defense is bringing him. So Shannon hits it on the head there. That's exactly what Aaron Rodgers is doing, and that's why he never snaps the ball with like 15 seconds left, hardly ever, unless he knows he has something, because he's doing some mind games right now. So Shannon knows what he's talking about for once, and while he's not sucking LeBron's wiener, he actually knows his football because he's a Hall of Fame tight end.
So Aaron came apart after those 2 interceptions, which lets you know, even the best, you put pressure on them, Skip, and things go bad, bad things can happen.
Okay, so all week long.
All right, so before Skip starts on his hate train again, let me just say Shannon Sharp's actually making some really good points here. this is really the first game this year where we've seen Aaron Rodgers have to endure a lot of pressure. So obviously David Bakhtiari went down, but even before that, Aaron Rodgers was having a lot of pressure coming towards him, and that's something we really hadn't seen. I mean, he's only been pressured probably less than 10 times this whole year up until this Buccaneers game. And on the other side, Tom Brady was, I believe it was only 2 pressures that entire game and 0 sacks. And that's surprising for me. You know, you got Zadarius Smith, who's a great player. You got Kenny Clark back, the guy who just paid some big money and who has really been a big-time player for the Packers the last few years. He looked flat on his return, but, you know, he's just returning from an injury, so hopefully he's going to get his stuff back. But the Packers did not pressure Tom Brady, and that's something the Buccaneers did a very good job of doing when it came to stopping the run and just pressuring Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, the Buccaneers defense did a great job in making Aaron Rodgers look like not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
For the second quarter, which blew the ball game open. But if you want to say in totality, it's impossible for you to say that, considering 3 for 11 for 55 yards in the second half, and he didn't do much in the first quarter. So if you want to say he played great for the second quarter, I'll give you that. But outstanding for the entirety of the ball game, absolutely not.
So to sum up Aaron Rodgers' day,
I think it's just important to say that Tom Brady outplayed Aaron Rodgers and got the win. Obviously, his defense and his running game were a lot more successful than the Packers' defense and running game. But in the end of the day, hey, guess what, guys? It's a team game. You can continue with your Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers debates all you freaking want, but football is a team game, and you need freaking every player on your team to produce and do their job if you want to get the win and win a Super Bowl.
he went 16 of 35, which is a grand total of 46%. Is that good?
No, it's not good. You know it's not good.
Aaron Rodgers was gone. He was out of the game with 7 minutes remaining. And if you'd asked me before the game yesterday, will he be gone with 7 minutes left, I'd say, uh-oh, he got hurt.
No.
And it's bad
No.
because he was gone. No, he was gone because it was over.
Yeah, it was over.
And they needed to protect him from the onslaught of Todd Bowles' defense.
Skip.
So what happened yesterday? 0 penalties, 0 turnovers, 0 sacks. It was about as perfect a game overall as you
There
could
were
play.
only a handful of games that's happening in the history of the game?
That is correct. And I believe, despite all the flack that Brady took for yelling at his offensive linemen in Chicago in that game that we watched, the disaster game, although he's throwing for the win at the end of the game. It wasn't like they got blown out.
Correct.
But I had no problem with it because he is trying to reset the culture in Tampa Bay, which I call Tampa Bay. He's trying to
Okay, so I have no problem with this. Let me just make that clear. I have no problem with Tom Brady yelling at his linemen, yelling at his teammates, trying to get him fired up, trying to get him focused, trying to get him on the same page. But guess what? If Skip were to see Aaron Rodgers do that, he's a diva. He's blaming everyone but himself. So Skip is really showing his bias, and he's showing how unfair he is towards Aaron Rodgers here. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about Tom Brady. Obviously, like I said, it's a good thing. I'm just saying Skip needs to look at things the same. If Aaron Rodgers was to start yelling at his receivers, start yelling at his linemen, start yelling at his teammates, Skip would get into his usual, oh, here comes Aaron Rodgers being a diva again and passing the blame to someone else. I know it's going to happen later down the road this year, and I'm going to be replaying this clip when it does happen. And this is a prime example of Skip Bayless just piling on to his narrative of Aaron Rodgers being a selfish teammate, and that's why Tom Brady's the GOAT and Aaron Rodgers isn't. I'm sure you guys will see this clip again sometime later in this year. But that's a perfect example of Skip Bayless not being fair and treating everyone the same and showing his bias.
So I told you on Friday that Aaron Rodgers so far this year, under fire, under pressure, however you define that, with people about to hit him, he was 29% completions, which was worst in the league.
Where's he going with this?
But the problem was, or the point was, he hadn't been under pressure much this whole year.
Right.
This is
and
fair.
It's one thing playing against Atlanta at home, and quite another to play against Todd Bowles.
Okay, just a quick thing here. A part of that is because Aaron Rodgers is so good at evading pressure. And while I'm not trying to say the Packers' offensive line hasn't done a good job in protecting their quarterback. They absolutely have. But all I'm saying is there's no one better moving around in the pocket or escaping to the outside of the pocket to extend the play. There's not a lot of quarterbacks in the history of this game that's better than doing that than Aaron Rodgers. So while you want to say that, but I mean, it's a part of Aaron's game to avoid the pressure to get the play, to get the receivers open that he wants. So, and I will agree, Aaron Rodgers with pressure in his face, usually he just throws that sucker away or it's a bad throw. So Skip's partially right here, but I just want to give you the full picture that Aaron Rodgers most of the time does a very good job of avoiding being in that situation.
But here's my point to you. Do you realize that sometimes these things are meant to be, and all of a sudden the Tampa Bay Lightning win the Stanley Cup, and then wait a second, the Tampa Rays? It's the Tampa Bay Rays? Are those?
Are the Los Angeles freaking Chargers or the Los Angeles Rams going to win the Super Bowl? Also, the Los Angeles Dodgers are also in the World Series, Skip. Freaking, this is the cancer of these stupid sports talk shows. Great talking point, Skip. Really entertaining and really insightful.
They're in the World Series.
With the Dodgers got Dodgers Day. LA, baby.
Wow. Wait a second.
Tampa Bay is celebrating.
Could it be one of those Tampa years?
Tampa is not celebrating anything else.
He's like a cheesy newspaper headline.
Possible?
That's really what Skip Bayless
Is
is.
it possible?
All right, that's the end of that. Wasn't as bad as I initially thought. There were a couple things where I thought Skip showed how he's unfair towards Aaron Rodgers, which is what this series really is all about, pointing out. But at the end of the day, Aaron had a bad game, made some terrible missed throws after those 2 interceptions, really put him out of the game, had a great start, but just unraveled, and then the pressure didn't help, and then the lack of a running game really didn't help, and then Bakhtiari going down didn't help, and now we're heading into Houston with Bakhtiari and Aaron Jones both being game-time decisions, so Houston's record is a little not showing the full story because Houston still has a decent little offense. I mean, they're still a solid team. They just had a really rough schedule to start this season. So hopefully the Packers can pull out a win. Aaron Rodgers can get his nice little revenge game, get back on track. And that's the video. I was really scared about doing this video, but Skip wasn't terrible. In terms of Skip Bayless being unbearable, I've seen him be unbearable a lot more than what he was in this clip. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm at Mamba. I don't know how to close videos. I'll see you guys next week when the Packers take on the Texans. And here's a clip of me getting waterboarded because I didn't think it was actually a true way to torture someone. But it turns out it was. All right, roll that clip.
Maybe a little. Holy frick! I got so much water in my nose.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to kill myself. Didn't work. It could have, though.
Original gangsta.